Welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch.
Rob Jarrell.
And today we're going to preview the March 18th pay-per-view matchup between Gennady Triple G Golovkin and Daniel the Miracle Man Jacobs for a plethora of Golovkin's titles. I think he has all of them except for the WBO.
Whatever one that Billy Joe Saunders has.
I want to say it's the WBO. I'll put it down there. Anyway, also the week before that, which this video will probably be out a week before the fight. So Saturday, we have another middleweight contender fight between David Lemieux and Curtis Stevens, which should not go the distance and should be pretty entertaining, but they still got to fight the fight. So that one's going to be on HBO the week before. And on the pay-per-view card, we've got Carlos Cuadras and Roman Gonzalez in separate bouts.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzalez defending his title against a Thai fighter whose name I cannot pronounce.
That's the best I can do. Rongsavai.
Sorkachai something. I'm sorry. My Thai is bad.
If you are Thai and you're watching this, we are sorry for the pronunciation.
Yeah, because we are killing it in not the good way. Here it is. It is, nope, here we go. Srisaket Sur Rungvisai. Good luck with that. And that's for the WBC Junior Bantamweight. And like I said, that fight should be good. The Thai fighters always bring it. They're very tough. And I know nothing about Cuadras' opponent.
David Carmona. Have no clue. Heard the name.
So, if you want to pay to see those fights, go right ahead. We're going to dive right into the main event. So, in Golovkin, we've got a guy who is sniffing at Bernard Hopkins' title defense record. Mm-hmm. He has a long knockout streak going. And Jacobs is a guy who has seen rock bottom and has climbed his way up to the top again. And now they're on a collision course. They've been discussed for maybe about the last year or two fighting. It's finally happening. And we're going to discuss some of the things that Jacobs can do to perhaps have success, maybe win, because with Golovkin being undefeated, and from what we've seen of him, there's really not a lot you can work with as far as saying this is what you need to do to win, because nothing has worked on a sustained amount of time long enough to say this is the definitive thing you should do. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, all you got to do is this. That's a lot easier said than done when you're in there getting hit. And Golovkin has a few more tricks up his sleeve than people like to give him credit for. Now, some people like to worship the ground he walks on, and some people like to discredit everything he's ever done. We're like right here. We think he's really good. Very, very good. He has some pluses, he has some minuses. And we're going to talk about all of that. So if you fall on one of those wide spectrums, we invite you to come to the middle, because that's what we're going to talk about here. Take it away, Rob.
All right, so this has been, again, talked about for a while. We have Brooklyn?
Yes, Brooklyn.
The Brooklyn native, Danny Jacobs. He is still trained by his trainer, whose name escapes me.
Andre Rozier.
Thank you. Who also trains
Deryevchenko, Kitrov. Those are the two bigger guys. He's got bigger names other than Jacobs.
So, in preparing for this fight, he brings in Virgil Hunter.
Also Chris Algieri for nutrition and weight.
And if you know Algieri, he is always in shape, and he has like a master's degree in health and nutrition. Yeah. Strength and conditioning, so pretty interesting. So he brings in Virgil Hunter as a part of his camp. He's not the head trainer.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. He is not the head trainer. Which is very interesting because he sees something that he thinks Virgil Hunter can help him with. Danny Jacobs is physically strong. He's very powerful. I believe he has a speed advantage. He has the height advantage, and he has the arm length advantage. I'm not going to say he has the power advantage, the technique advantage over Golovkin. And he has and Golovkin definitely has a better chin.
Yes, because only one of these guys has been knocked out. Now,
Knocked down, because
yes.
Golovkin has not been knocked down in all of his fights.
Right. And now, Sergio Mora, that was recent. He got knocked down in that fight. But I squared up Sergio Mora at that. The Pirogue fight, I'm not really too sure about because there was a lot going on with him mentally. His grandmother passed that week. He may have or may not have been in the early stages of the cancer that took him out of the game for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Pirogue is a completely different fighter.
And he was a very smart and very good fighter as well.
Yeah.
Watch him fight and you will actually appreciate what he can do well.
So, I don't know if that stuff factored in or not. So, but and I say that to not take away from Pirogue's win because like you said, like we were both trying to say, Pirogue is very good. So it's not a knock on Jacobs that he lost to him.
Mm-hmm.
But the distance, how far away it was that it happened, and those circumstances, I don't know if that's like something that maybe Pirogue caught him at the right time,
mm-hmm.
or maybe he is just that damn good. We don't know. But we do know Golovkin is damn good. And he has a set range that he likes to work at. He likes to work at a mid-range, I guess what you would say boxing range, where you can touch someone with a fully extended jab. He can work his hooks. And if he's not in that range, he has a bad habit of lunging. And he only really does that against the faster guys. Like you saw him do it a lot versus Kell Brook. And he did it a few times versus Willie Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
But Willie Monroe didn't really offer him anything that would make that a problem. Kell Brook did. And I know a lot of people get upset about this, but Kell Brook was the best person that Gennady Golovkin has fought that we've seen on the big stage. Him and, Kasim Uma really wasn't on the big stage. I was on the come up.
Right.
But Kasim Uma was also a very good fight and a former titleist that, gave Golovkin some trouble. But that fight was also a very long time ago, and it's also a very different style. A style that I don't think Jacobs is going to employ with like a lot of punches and just being in Golovkin's chest, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do suggest he try that though.
Yes.
Not the lots of punches, but I think he should try to crowd Golovkin. And doing so, that he's in that range that Golovkin doesn't like to work. Super close. Like where we are right now, Golovkin usually either ties up or he does subtle hand movements to control you into places where he wants you to go. And I say that because a lot of people don't see it. Like he'll miss a punch, he'll use that hand to sweep you out of the way, or he will throw feint punches to kind of move your arms mm-hmm. into the position he wants you to have him in so he can land the real punch he wants to throw, usually a left hook to the body. Jacobs needs to do the exact same thing. When he jabs, he has to use his hands, maybe leave it out a little bit longer to blind Golovkin into that straight right hand, or feign his jabs and his hooks in order to land like maybe an uppercut to confuse Golovkin as to where the punches are coming from. Another thing that he should do to try to have success is not back up. Every guy who fights Golovkin, I guess because like we said, we're not in there getting hit by him. So maybe he, the stories are true that this guy is just a monster puncher.
Right.
But he should move in tight lateral circles instead of trying to back up and keep away from him, and use his reach advantage when he can. But when it's not there, he has to use that physical size to wear on Golovkin. Now, I know a lot of people don't like that stuff. They're like, oh, he's holding, blah, blah, blah. That's the martial art of boxing. It happens. Like, people don't just stand right in front of each other and trade punches. We're way too far advanced for that. Sorry. Not sorry at all.
Mm-hmm.
Get over it. So, for Golovkin, what he has to do is freeze Danny Jacobs, make him second guess himself. And the way he does that is by feints. Jacobs, when feinted, has a very bad habit of standing straight up and locking his legs. That would be a very bad idea to do against Gennady Golovkin. If he feints like this, he kind of stands up into a high guard, or he'll lean back like that.
Gotta move your feet.
And yes, he has to move his feet. He can't be stationary like that against someone who reels off hard combinations like Golovkin. But Golovkin has to force him into those situations. And I think he can, and I think he will. This is going to be another concentration fight. Whereas who can stay on their game plan for the longest to be successful? What you got?
Well, not much different. The only other thing I would say he needs to be wary about is...
Who is that?
Jacobs. I think he can actually out-muscle Triple G in spots. I'm not going to say he can't the entire fight, because even though he's a smaller guy, Triple G is physically strong.
Yes.
He's not the most cut dude in the world, but
he's solid.
Yeah, he's extremely solid. And that camp that he comes out of with
Abel
Sanchez, those guys are extremely conditioned.
Yeah, Big Bear is up in elevation, and Golovkin's gas tank is pretty good, even though he looked a little labored versus Kell Brook. That was a high energy fight.
But the thing about it is, one, and this is, I think, is important for the mental game plan, is make him want to knock you out too early. Because there have been times where Triple G has gotten caught or seen visibly tired because he was pressing too much.
Yeah.
In that Kell Brook fight, you can see it. He really wanted to knock out Kell Brook. Kell Brook just happened. He broke his orbital bone, but you wonder, had he not broken that orbital bone, it would have been a completely different fight. And you can see, they say he was sick. All right? But
no, his fans said that. His camp said he was not. So I will take the word of him and his camp over his fans.
So at that point, if that's the case, if he can make a miss, or if
which he needs to do,
or cause him to press and either stay out of range. I wouldn't suggest
have him lunge into range.
Lunge into range, and then using your physical size, because I think Jacobs is going to outweigh Triple G by at least 10 pounds in this fight, and push him back, maul him, even turn him into the ropes if you can. Like I said, he's shorter, he might have that lower center of gravity, he has extremely strong legs, and he's very solid. If you can tire him out and cause him to try to press the attack, but still miss and overexert himself, then I think you have a better chance. And then you slip in some body punching on the inside, Jacobs has a very good chance. And that's just making him do something mentally to tire him out physically.
Right. And that's the main question. Can he do it consistently enough to make a real difference? Kell Brook had success in spots, throwing fast punches down the middle, uppercuts.
And the uppercut will be important because Triple G does go with a high guard at times, especially with someone that's quicker than him.
Yes. And really, that stuff worked for Kell Brook, but it was only in spots. and Triple G was still able to get the victory. Whether we know or not, how it would have gone, we only have what happened. And what happened was he broke Kell Brooks' orbital bone. He really hurt him in that first round. The second through the fourth round were kind of iffy for him. Then he turns it back on in the fifth round and is able to get the stoppage. That's why you have to be on point for the full duration of the fight when you're dealing with Gennady Golovkin. And honestly, I don't think Daniel Jacobs can do that. I think eventually Golovkin is going to get him, and it's going to be probably around 8 rounds.
I'm taking anywhere between 8 and 10, unless Jacobs, and he has this ability to really buzz Golovkin, either make him gun shy or hit him hard enough. If he doesn't take him out, just kind of keep him, I guess, just blurry as much as the fight as he can. And that could be something, hit him in the temple, top of the head as hard as he could, something like that. I just think Golovkin, he places his shots better.
Yes.
I think he does a better job at trapping, especially cutting off that ring if Danny starts to move. But we know what Triple G could do. He's been very consistent over the last 3, 4, 5 years in what he could do, and it has worked well for him. With Jacobs, I think it's more strategy and a little bit more of a mixed bag with that. So we'll see. Just because he added Virgil Hunter, we're not sure what we're going to get from Jacobs in this fight. In Triple G, we're pretty sure we're going to get more of what we've seen since he's had the belt and before.
Yeah, and so that's why I think I see that fight going that way. Because we know what we're going to get from Golovkin. We don't know what we're going to get from Jacobs. But based on what we've seen a lot more things that Golovkin can take advantage of, more so than Danny can take advantage of with him. Now, he could get in there and just knock him clean out. We don't know. That's why they got to get in there and fight. But we think that Golovkin can get the job done within the distance. Rob says before 10. I say before 8. But Golovkin gets the job done and continues his streak. Anything else you want to add in closing?
No, that's all I got.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave your thoughts below in the comment section. Make sure you like this video. Share it with your friends and your forums and everything. Follow us on all the social networks. We're on Twitter now, finally. So you can follow us on there. Instagram, Facebook. I just said all of them. I don't know why I named them. Just a good reminder. The links are below. Make sure if you have not done so that you subscribe and keep the conversation going with us. We like to talk with you guys about the martial art and the sporting aspect, which is what we're talking about now. So join us for the recap. So hit the subscribe button so you know when it's out. And until then, fight on.
This is round 1 and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and cost. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick crime, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.